Good morning, good evening. Welcome to this week's chat. I am back. You have no idea I was gone because I had a holiday. I had 6 days away. It was wonderful. And I wanted to talk to you today about taking a break as a creator, taking a break, having holidays, just stepping away from the social, stepping away from the day to day. Now we didn't go on like a grand tour or anywhere fancy or anything. We drove a couple of hours, stayed in a seaside town. I wouldn't say it's country town, but just a little seaside town, just away from everything. And it was a pretty big week, even though I was on a break, if that makes any sense. And there's ways to take breaks. So you know, as creators, quite a lot of us, especially here on this channel, in this audience, this isn't the full-time thing. This is part of something else. So you've got this, you might have work, you might have family commitments, you might have school. There's other things that you're working on as well. And trying to work out how to take a break from all of it at the same time can be a little tricky. Now, I hadn't actually intended to take the full-on break, and the universe conspired against me, or with me, to make it so that I could have a full break. So when you work for yourself, like I do, my income comes from a lot of different places, and I work for a lot of other creators and other companies. And being able to take a break when you don't have a full-time job with annual leave and all that kind of stuff can be a little tricky, because if you don't work, you don't get paid, right? And I had planned out this week to take away, and I'd let everybody know I was going to be off, and I'm like, but I'll be able to jump into these meetings and I'll be able to do this. And then the company that I work for, where I was like, I'll be able to jump into these meetings, I'll take my laptop with me, I'll do all this other stuff while I'm away. They actually went, no, we're going to cancel those meetings so you can just have a break. And it was just like, no, I'm fine. They're like, no, we've already, the meetings are cancelled. And I was like, okay. And at first I was just a little bit like, And then I realized, no, they were right. I needed a full break. So working out how to do this, how to have a break, is you can plan it. You can make it so that you still have videos going out, you still have posts going out, you still have a lot of things happening. And I am not a role model in this instance. I need to really put that first and foremost. I am the worst at taking a break because I still log into email and double check that there's no fires. Like any standard stuff, I let go. But anything that was like, you need to, if you need to action this, or your computer's going to explode, or whatever it is, your YouTube channel is going to crash and burn. Anything that was like a fire, I still did it, right? That meant that in my 6 days off, I did how many things? Like one, and I probably didn't need to do it. Like, really? So when we decide to take a break, part of the biggest problem is us letting go and just, cutting off and just not doing the thing. And it's so important that we do. Because if you have a look at major corporations, now I'm obviously coming from an Australian perspective, okay? So I know things are different for different countries and what have you. And so let me know what it's like for your country.
Yes.
DC Hallett bought 5 copies. Great to see you getting back into your groove. Thank you.
Yes.
Is that Danielle? Are you in the chat, Danielle? It's great to see you here. Thank you. So, having this, making yourself take these breaks in corporate Australia, or in full-time work in Australia, it is law that we have to take 20 annual leave days. Oh, lurky. Thanks, Tube Spanner. It's so good to see you here. We have to take 20 annual leave days per year. Now, like, how many people actually take every 20 every year? Some people take 15 and save 5, you know, there's all that kind of thing. And some companies are really like, no, you have to take the leave, like you will be booking in the leave. So quite often when you're working a full-time job in Australia, you are forced, I will say forced because that's how it feels sometimes, to take your 20 annual leave days. And there's a reason for it. Annual leave and taking a break from your job is necessary for your physical and mental health. And I'm going to say it again. Taking a break from your daily job is necessary for your physical and mental health. It's so easy for us, like it's like this is a side gig, it's a thing, you know, it's part-time, whatever. It is still important to take a break. Right. And like, I do understand that not every country has the 20 annual leave days thing. I know if you're part-time, it's a bit different. You know, I get that. And some companies do the whole, well, we're shutting down over Christmas, so you have to take your break then, but you still have to take that break. Doug, yes, you should aim to take some of that leave. Absolutely. Now, I've been nattering on. Let me just jump back into the chat. Little Crafty Nook was in here early. Let's cut the scraps. Great to see you in here as well. So good to see you all jumping in. I do have my Buy Me a Coffee link pinned, as Tube Spanner has shown that it was, I had the link pinned, but you know what I don't have? There we go. That's up there now. Make it easy for you. Make it easy for you. Doug is floating around, but Doug is on mobile, so he cannot tag because YouTube, in their wisdom, have not made it possible to tag on a mobile. However, they've made all the managing moderator tools mobile only. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Frankie says, me currently trying to figure out how to come back from a 9-month break. Well, I'm going to cover a little bit on that as well, like what to do when you get back, okay? So I will get into that too. 9 months is long. 9 months is long, but it is doable. It is absolutely doable. I have a friend who has a channel. She's taken nearly 18 months off and she's kicking back in and she's picking things back up. Let's have a look. Home Rapid Repair is here. Our Okie Homestead, so good to see you. Lee from Anfield Road is here. It's so good to see you all. Frankie says, my ex-employer forced us to take it as it was for our health, but because they didn't want to have a leave debt hanging over them. Absolutely. From the bookkeeping or accounting side of companies, which is what I used to do, actually having people's annual leave that they're owed, but they haven't taken, is an expense and it is a drain on the company balance sheet. So they do want you to take it as well for both reasons. Aaron's House of Legos says, if I'm offered a break, I would be doing a happy dance. There you go. Absolutely. Little Crafty Nook says, apparently they don't work at all in August in Italy. Wow. Okay. The whole country takes a month off. I mean, if any country's going to do it, it's probably Italy. John says, hi all, wish I had something good to say, but my brain needs a coffee break. I'm with you. This is my second coffee. I have a coffee. I have some tea. And I also have, leaching over, I have some water because it's quite hot here. But I've actually not hit a temperature even up to 40 degrees Celsius where it was too hot for coffee. Come on. Yeah, come on YouTube, right? Come on. Let's make our managing moderator tools mobile only, but then they can't tag. So yeah, light speed. I love that. Tube Spanner says, I took a short break on my personal channel 7 years ago. Oh my gosh. Larry, thank you for the coffees. I very much appreciate that. It's good to see you in here.
Yes.
Was that, like, I just want to clarify something. Danielle, was that your last holiday? Like your last actual break? Or is that just like your last break on a channel? So I'm very curious to know. Little Crafty Nook says that my job was very flexible. We could only claim 3 days a year paid, but we could take off as needed. Take off if needed. Sorry, you only get 3 days a year paid annual leave. That's really, I didn't know that. Okay. John says, well, you can always have iced coffee. I'm not a big fan of iced coffee. However, I do like cold brew. So yeah. I have not made a video on cutting the cabooses. Oh, okay. I get it. I get it. You took a small break that you're still taking. I get it now. Thank you for clarifying. It is still early. I am still part of the way through my second cup. And if you know me, 1 cup is none cups, 2 cups is 1. So yeah. Oh, that may change soon. Oh, exciting. Exciting. I might have to go and, I don't know if I'm subscribed to Cutting the Caboose. I might have to go and keep an eye on that. Oh, okay. So you're part-time. All right. I get that. All right. I understand. So the need to take a break is real, right? That feeling of I need to stop, that is real. That is a real feeling. And sometimes you don't get that feeling and somebody else around you says, honey, it's time to take a break. You need to step back for just a minute. And when you get to that point, you know you've had your blinkers on for way too long, okay? So how do we get organized? Because we want to be able to take a break, but we also don't want our YouTube channels to crash and burn and die a slow death when we come back. Now, and I'm talking short breaks, okay? I'm talking planned short breaks because sometimes stuff comes up unplanned, right? And you just need to drop everything and go, then drop everything and go. Your YouTube channel is not your life. Like it might be your only income, it might be your only work, but it is not worth your safety. That's what I'm trying to get to. It's not worth your safety. No job is worth your life, okay? So sometimes we do have to drop and run. We have to prioritize something else. For me, it's my family. If I got a phone call from my daughter that she was in danger and needed me right now, I'm sorry, I would end the stream and leave. There would be no ifs, no buts, no coconuts. It's that simple. And we all have our level of, well, this would be a wind it up quickly. This would, that we've all got different levels of different things of what is urgent. And, we always have to remember that what's urgent for someone else, it's not always urgent for us. Life-threatening for them, I think, is kind of urgent for me. Not that I think I could do anything about it other than be supportive. But yeah. So taking a break, a planned short break from your channel, what can you do to minimize any sort of drops in views, drops in momentum, things like that? So I took 6 days off, okay? So 6 days off for me was really, really great. And one of the things that I did do is you'll notice that I didn't miss a stream on this channel. I, however, did miss a stream on my Fiberific channel. And so what I did do was I communicated clearly what was coming up, what was happening. Everybody in the live streams knew that I was taking a break, that I was away for 6 days, that I'd be back next week, and back with new energy, new, vigor and verve. And so planning it out. So you can, YouTube lets us schedule, right? So if you know far enough in advance that you're going to be taking a break and you're a regular uploader rather than a live streamer, you could actually just have the uploads scheduled out over your break and an extra week or two so that you've got time to make the next upload to schedule it in advance. So you can absolutely schedule those out. You can schedule out your content on into your community tab. You can schedule that out as well. So you've got options for scheduling if you are able to upload something. So you can schedule a short, you can schedule a long form, and you can schedule your community tab posts. So if you're going to be away on your normal upload day, you could, dig in a little deeper before you go away at some stage and get an episode or two ahead or a video or two ahead and get those scheduled across. And that's great. But when you're a live streamer and you're not in the room, it's a live stream that's not as easy to do, right? You can't just schedule your live stream to happen while you're away. Now, I know that a lot of the tools allow you to upload a video, to schedule it and run it as a live stream. I personally hate that. I personally hate that a lot. I don't like, I'm just dragging out the soapbox. I don't like people who run premieres and then don't attend, so that they run it as a premiere, but they're not in the chat, actively chatting with the people watching. That annoys me. Don't run it as a premiere, just upload it. If you are running a live stream, like a video as a live stream, and you are not in the chat, same deal. Don't do it. And if you're running a longer video, like say I just made like a long monologue and recorded that, then you can't just expect people to be happy about that, because you've created an expectation through the history of your live streaming that you're going to respond to people's comments. You're going to answer their questions. And if you have just uploaded a long video to schedule it to run as a live while you're not even in the room and you're away, then you're breaking that promise. You're breaking their expectations, and you're breaking a trust. As far as I'm concerned, you are breaking a trust. Now, if you want to do that, you can do that. And I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying I don't like it. All right. So there's that. And it's your channel, and you get to do things how you want. So in saying that, it's your call. You get to decide, will that work for my audience? Because it might well work for your audience. It wouldn't work for mine, but it might well work for your audience. But then you have to be clear about it. You have to let them know that you're not actually there, that it is a recording, that this is not actually live, and you're not actually in the chat. You need to make it very clear to your audience what's going on. You need to rebalance their expectations once it's started, okay? Communication, like we're all communicators here on YouTube, and that's the thing. Everybody creating on YouTube is a communicator. Whether they want to think of themselves that way or not, that's exactly what we're doing. We're communicating a message, a story, a lesson, a review. We are communicating exactly every single time we make a video. It is a form of communication. So you need to communicate your intention. Now, I could have done better with my Fiberific channel to let them know what was going on. I had every intention to do better, but the week disappeared and I wasn't prepared early enough. Okay. Now, luckily, I have an active community, and they were able to answer questions over on the Discord and over on the Facebook group when people were like, oh, she's not live streaming, what's going on? And they were able to say, she's away, she's having a holiday. And then once everyone knew that, they were like, oh, cool, okay. But I could have made a community post, but we all know that community posts aren't always seen by everybody, okay? So you can let people know as best you can. But you can't expect every single person who usually would dial into your channel to see it, because they may not see the community post over on YouTube. They may not see, they may not be a member of your Facebook group or on your Discord or in your email list. They may not see these things. And you just have to accept and just go, oh, I was on a holiday, I'm so sorry. Oh, I was on a holiday, didn't you know? You've got to, be aware of how you're communicating with people. I'm going to jump back into the chat here. Forgot to scroll back a little. Little Crafty Nook says she didn't know. Well, there you go. Obviously, I didn't communicate it enough. Aaron's House of Lego says, my friend started his YouTube break 6 months ago and is still currently on it. He says that he's just not doing it right now. Really improves his mental health. And you know what? He's doing what he needs to do. Sometimes our mental health has to come above other things. And sometimes they may not come back to YouTube. They may not come back to social media. They may realize that it's part of the problem for them as individuals. So we just have to support our friends in their decisions. That's all we can do. Let's have a look. Home Rapid Repair says, yes, mental health would always have to come first. I would think, absolutely. Absolutely. Tech View Need says, how long can you take a break before affecting your channel? It's going to depend on the kind of content you're uploading and what is an acceptable What is an acceptable change in your views? Because the reality is, missing a single upload is going to affect your channel, but to what degree? You're going to lose the views from that one video, right? It doesn't mean that when you make the next video, YouTube's going to go, oh, no, you skipped an upload. That's it. We don't like you anymore. That's not what happens at all. What happens is YouTube will send that video out to all the people that would usually have responded well to your content. And if they click on it and watch it and respond well to it and enjoy it, then, you know, they go forward. However, if you've taken a longer break and your audience have found someone else to watch, it might be a little harder to claw them back. Because we all only have so many minutes a day where we can watch YouTube, right? Like let's be real, that we can't watch I don't actually watch everything I want to watch on YouTube. I've got so many genres and niches and what have you that I love. I can't actually watch it all in a day and function as a human. Actually, even physically couldn't watch it all in one day. So I miss things, and I don't mean to, but I do. And I understand what that means for someone's channel when people just skip over their videos. But I still have to make that decision, okay? So understanding that whatever decision you make, there will be consequences to it, but accepting those consequences before and going in, I think is a way to look at it. Let's have a look here. There's people crocheting in the chat. That is so awesome. I love it. I absolutely love it. I wish I was crocheting right now. I got no crochet done. Well, actually, I got a little bit of crochet done while I was on my holiday before I realized that I was creating step outs for a crochet along that I'm planning. And it was just like, this is work. Oh my God, this is work. Put it away, put it away. So I just went yarn shopping and bought yarn instead. John Lacey says, at least marketers recorded. So this is back when we were talking about running a live stream where you've pre-recorded the content, but it's still going out live. So marketers recorded, set expectations so people don't think you're ignoring them. 100%. 100%. Communication, I must work on that. It's a learning curve. It is. And understanding what level of communication people actually require. Because you think you've made it clear. Like I thought I made it clear over on Fiberific, but Little Crafty Nook didn't know. I also was very clear with my with the people I work with and work for that I was away as well. So they were probably my real priority, like if I'm being really honest. John says, on one single occasion, I streamed a playlist of pre-recorded content and was genuinely surprised at how many views it got. See, this is the thing to remember is most viewers don't watch every single piece of content you put out. So that could have been new content for them and they enjoyed it. What I will say is while I took a week off and I didn't upload to my Fiberific channel, I was checking the analytics for the last 7 days. And while my views went down a little, my watch time actually went up. So people were watching previous live streams. I went through and I had a little look and there was the extra views on some previous live streams. And those live streams are 3 hours long. Some of them are some of the ones I were watching were 3 hours long. So that's the productivity streams. And so people will go back. And if you don't have some content, they may go, well, what else has she got I haven't seen or he got? John says, if you're going to be away, schedule some messages to say, have you watched this epic video I made a month ago? Yes, absolutely. If when I was traveling a lot more, I would plan out content and then direct people back to videos from like a year ago to go and watch that. Little Crafty Nook says, I like the scheduled post in the community idea. Yeah, look, this is a really great thing that a lot of people don't do. So sometimes we all get like that little block of time that we have sort of, I'm going to say more free, where we can get a little bit ahead on something and you think, well, I could make a video, or you could make a month's worth of community posts and schedule them out to drop 1 a week or 2 a week for a month. While a video will get you more views, a community post will help you interact. So while I would probably, if you're a video maker, I'd probably prioritize the video over the scheduling of the community posts. But why not do both? Honestly, why not do both? Little Crafty Nook says that she's finishing up a St. Patrick's Day card. Awesome. Awesome. Aaron says, take the how-to community. There's so many videos that I want to watch, yet I can't watch it all day. Absolutely. Absolutely. We just can't. We just can't. We have to pick and choose. That's awesome, Chantelle. Taking responsibility for the results of our choices. I'm also learning to detach from the outcome sometimes. And look, it's easier said than done. I'll be honest. Sometimes I will feel it. But I made the decision, you know? And after, like, a friend of mine is very much like, you take things too personally. You take things very personally. I'm like, well, it's personal. And they're like, it's not. Someone else has made a decision that may affect you, but they haven't made it to be vindictive. They've made it because they needed to make it. It's not actually all about you. I'm like, oh, come on now. Come on. Am I not the center of the universe? But yeah, we do have to detach ourselves emotionally a little bit from outcomes. And that might be more of a girl thing. I don't know, like, boys in the chat, let me know. Do you guys get attached to the outcomes and take things a bit personally? I don't know. It could be a girl thing. I don't know. Never been a boy, so I don't know the answer to that. But making sure that we understand what's going to happen. Like, if you take 6 months off, there's going to be some repercussions, right? If you upload nothing for 6 months, you may get booted from the YouTube Partner Program. You need to be uploading. Even if you put a short up every 90 days, that counts. You need to have something new on your channel every 90 days. Or you could get booted. You need to keep your watch time up, or you could get booted. There are things that happen. But if you're just so that's like if you take a long break. But if you're just taking, and I just also want to clarify, it's not even definite. I know of people who have uploaded nothing, their watch hours have dropped, and they're still in the partner program. So I don't understand why one person gets booted and another doesn't. It just happens. So if you make sure you're maintaining those minimums, at least you won't get booted and you won't have to reapply to YPP, which is a little bit painful. Let's have a look here. Looks like you got a little bit of sun. I did get a little bit of sun. I tried to be very cautious. But one particular day there was reflection off the table of the cafe that we were having breakfast at, and I got back to the room and I was a little red. I tried very hard not to get burnt, because I, don't cope well. I'm a big crybaby. I don't like getting burnt. I can't wear sunscreen because I am allergic to the ingredients. So I have to choose between chemical burn and sunburn. And it's not awesome. So I just avoid the sun is really what it comes down to. I wear hats, I wear like long sleeves when I'm out, and I, avoid the sun. But I did get a little bit of sun. And it wasn't hurdy burn. It was just a little bit pink for a day. Maybe a pink for 2 days. I don't know. Maybe it was still pink. Doug suggested hydration time. I think I'm going to go in with some coffee. Let's have a look through the chat here. Here in Michigan, it's been so cold and cloudy, I forgot what the sun looks like. Now, just so that you feel a bit better, I went away to the beach for 6 days, and it rained for 3 of those. So there was some days where there was bits of sun, and then other days where it bucketed all day. It was quite rainy, but it was very nice. It was actually still warm and lovely. John says, when people don't watch my videos, it ruins my entire week. Lol. Is that a serious thing? Because that's concerning. If it's not in jest, because that's a hard pill to swallow, because it can be YouTube can be very fluid and things can go up and down and up and down. That would be a really hard game for me. If that was the case for me, that would be really, really... Now, I'm not saying that I don't look at the views and go, oh, they're a bit low. What can I do to fix it? But I don't like, fetal position it. Where some things do cause, like, I'm just being really honest. And so we have to really protect our own mental health, because no one else is going to do it. John, you have to protect your own mental health. And I know that you're putting your stuff out there every week, and some weeks hit and some weeks don't. And I get that. I really do, because I'm in exactly the same boat. But I've really had to learn how to detach. And this is a conversation I've had with myself multiple times. I have to detach my self-worth from my YouTube channels. And I have to detach my self-worth from other people's opinion of my work. Because I have the personality where if somebody doesn't like the work I'm doing, therefore they mustn't like me. And I know it's not the case. I know it's not real. But I really have had to concentrate very, very hard to learn that lesson, and to really, and I have to remind myself all of the time. If somebody's giving me negative feedback on something, they don't hate me. They just want me to improve something. And I can learn from that, and I can grow from that. And I have to give myself that talk. And I'll be in the middle of a conversation with somebody where they're just giving me it's actually quite positive feedback. And I feel my face flushing, and I can hear my blood running, and it gets to a point where I struggle to hear them, because I'm so embarrassed and so ashamed of stuffing it up, that I really had to learn how to control it a bit better. And I know my reaction was extreme, and I get that, and I'm working on that, but I've really had to learn, and it's a hard lesson, and I can't give you any tips because everyone's so different. I really had to learn how to separate my own self-worth from my YouTube channels. And because it was doing bad things to my brain, it was doing really bad things to my brain. Yeah, all I can suggest is that you have a look at that. If that's what you're doing, and not just John, but all of us, if that's what you're doing, then you need to look at how to separate it, because otherwise you'll end up like I did, and stuck, unable to move, unable to make decisions. Now I'm the person that would rather make a wrong decision than no decision. I don't know if that's right or not, but that's what I do. I'd rather for me, inactivity is a decision. No action, no decision is a decision. So I had to teach myself that lesson, and it was hard, and it's still hard, and I still go through it every single day, because I work in an industry where people give feedback, right? Like, it's what they do. That's what they're supposed to do. And that's what you want them to do. You need the feedback so that you can adjust things and change things to be exactly how they want them, which is what I'm trying to do, right? I need the feedback. And so I really have to consciously take a deep breath and just try and look at it like they're talking to someone else and I'm just listening, right? And we all have to find a little way to make it work for ourselves. And I know not everybody has that same problem. Some people are really great with that sort of stuff, and I would love to know how you do that. But I have to consciously think about it. Now, I like, just so that you guys know, we've got some really upset pets in our household. So Mr. Tibbles, our 15-year-old cat, apparently all week, like, we only got home yesterday, but he's walking around the house. I'm going to cry. He's walking around the house calling for our other cat. So I don't know if you can hear him or not. I can. Water didn't cut it. I'll have some coffee. Okay. I finished my coffee. Now what am I going to do? I have to have tea. He's calling for our other cat and she's gone. So... And Louis is down here being more of a Velcro dog than ever. So, which I didn't think was actually possible because he's pretty much attached to our sides at all times. But he is a total Velcro dog. So he I would be very surprised if he left at all now. If like someone could knock on the door and he'd just look at me. So, sorry guys, I didn't mean to lose it, but he's been walking up and down the house for the whole stream, and it does hit. Okay, taking breaks is actually a good thing. Oh goodness me, I'll get it back. I'll get it back. I'll go back into the chat. Let's have a look. Oh, John says I'm not saying I'm emotionally attached to outcomes. I just note I have 698 subscribers and my eyes are burning a hole in the screen waiting to hit 700. Oh yeah, I feel that. Over on my Fiberific channel, I'm so close to 7,000 subscribers. I have an ultimate goal. Like my biggest YouTube goal for that channel ever has been 10,000 subscribers. And I never thought I'd ever get anywhere near it because of how I focus on other things instead of what I should be over there. Right. And so, but now I'm looking at it and I'm like, wow, I could probably make the 10,000 now. I didn't think I could. I thought that was a pipe dream, but I could probably, I could probably make that. And now I'm watching the 7,000. I'm like, I think I'm only like 9 or 10 off 7,000, or I think. I can't, I've tried not to look at it, but yeah, I'm in that sort of position. So I get that. Absolutely. Allergic to the sunscreen in Australia. Wow, that sounds problematic. It is problematic. It is problematic. There is a couple, like, and I do keep testing because I know they keep changing the recipes. And there's two that I can use. I can use zinc, which is that thick paste, which I don't like at all. I don't like how I feel. And like, you can't dip your whole body in zinc like you can other sunscreen. And then there's a really, there's one of those ones for babies that are just, like for sensitive skin. I can use one of those, but the problem is it washes off every time you go in the water. So, you know, you have to reapply it every 30 minutes or something. It's a bit dumb. All right. Russell's here, and he I was about to say Russell has a thing. It's called, he has coined a term called hyperanalytica. And I love this term. And I think that John it could be veering towards it. And look, I have days where I'm just watching the analytics so much. And I actually think of Russell and hyperanalytica and actually just close it and walk away. Yeah. Let's have a look here. Wait, Chantelle just dropped the cure. They don't hate you. They just want you to improve, and what's wrong with that? Yep, it's the truth. It is absolutely the truth. Lee, I'll see you on the other side. So, you know, thanks for being here. I know it's real late for you. I get it. Guys, thank you so much for your kind words here and the virtual hugs. Yeah, thank you. Russell says we have aerosol sunscreens here that are sweet. We do have the spray on ones here. They still have the same active ingredients. I've tried them. They still do things to my skin that are not awesome. John says I look at the subscriber count because it goes up. I try not to look at the other stats because they hurt my feelings. Well, you know what happened, so you're working around it. So that is good. That is good. With regards to the comments, what I'm training now to take positive and negative feedback in the same way as data, as in research. Then when it bothers me, I use it to learn about myself. That's a thing. Now, there is a line with negative comments where they become trollish, right? And then you need to make that decision of whether they actually deserve to be on your wall. If they're just constructive criticism or they're disagreeing with the point of view in a respectful manner, they can stay. There's no issues there. But if they are cruel or in no way constructive, if they are just nasty and mean and hate-filled, they have no place on my channel. I don't know about your channel. They have no place on my channel. So, I have to go and let Tibbles into a room. I'll be back in 1 second. He's at a doorway stuck now. So, yeah. Yeah, Russell said, here we go, Russell. Actually, some do hate you. Your channel and your ideas. Get over it if you want to succeed in social media, or delete those meetings from your channel. I delete them. I'm not going to stop my channel, and I'm not going to change my point of view just because some keyboard warrior doesn't agree with me in a mean and nasty way. I need to clarify that, because there's people who don't agree with me, and that's cool. They don't have to agree with me. But if they're mean and nasty in how they're saying it, then they can go. But I'll be back in just 1 second. I'm going to drop the Be Right Back screen. If you don't have a Be Right Back screen, you need one. I have a video here on the channel for you to make one. So just wait. Don't run away. Don't go watch that video yet. It's like 20 minutes. I'll be back in just like 2 minutes. I've got to go and open and close the door because he's a cat. Apparently, he can't bear to be on the other side of a door. I'll be back. Okay, he's in, sitting at his food bowl. He'll be yelling that it's empty soon, or that he can see the bottom of it, or whatever it is. He's been pretty upset this week. Okay, yeah, I know my cat is so silly about that. Cats are hilarious. I love cats. Yeah, if it's mean and nasty, it's non-negotiable. Delete them. Yep. Oh, you're going off to see what Tibbles is up to. Like, I'm like, oh, Louis will never leave. Except for now, Louis left. So yeah, mean and nasty comments can go, but in relation to planning at trips away, you know, things like that. Now, comments is something that happens while you're away. So even if you haven't uploaded or done a new live stream, or any of those sorts of things, people will still be watching previous content and commenting. So do you go in and keep an eye on your comments? It's up to you entirely. Like, for me personally, can't help myself. It's a problem. I have to just have a little look. I'll just, you know, I respond to comments while I'm doing other things. I don't sit down and have like an hour where I respond to comments. And I know if you have a bigger channel, it's easier to block that time in. When you have smaller channels like what I've got, the comments don't happen all that, you know, like you might only get a couple of comments a day. You're not dealing with tens of thousands of comments every hour. So I just go in and I have a look, but that's a me problem. That's a me problem. That's not a you must do this thing. That's a me problem. I should know how to just disconnect. But I carry my phone with me pretty much everywhere. So, you know, I can be checking comments while I'm waiting at the doctor's or standing in the line at Woolies with my groceries. I do that stuff. I don't actually recommend that, but that's what I do. I have no idea why Google wants to log me out in the middle of watching other people's streams. It's annoying. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad you're back, at least. So yeah, so I have gotten sidetracked, so I'm just going to double check my notes. All right. I did print my notes out this time, so that I could actually double check them easier. So having, setting expectations for your community, yeah, setting expectations for your community while you're away is one thing. Being clear is another. So speaking clearly, putting it into, you know, everywhere that you can. So, which I didn't do because I legit forgot, but I added it to a few things. And I did talk about it in the live streams over on Fiberific, that the break was coming up. So people over there did know what was happening, just maybe not everybody, which is also a problem. But sometimes you do just have to step away. You do just need to take that break, and you can't plan for it properly. When you come back, what do? You know, and even if you have planned for it properly, when you come back, what do? Do you have to do anything specific? Do you have to, you know, roll out 15 pieces of content to try and get back into the algorithm? No, you don't. You just keep going like you would normally keep going. You know, add in an extra post in your community tab. Hey, back from my holiday, it was fantastic. And if you're able or willing to share a pic, throw a picture in. Had an awesome time. Can't wait to catch up with you again in the next live stream. Bring them along on the journey, right? It's sort of metaphorically. You don't actually want to take them on your holiday, but bring them along for the journey when you're back. Talk to them about, you know, the broader strokes of your holiday. It's your holiday. It's personal time. You don't have to share the details. But, you know, I went away to the beach for a week. It was fantastic. I loved it. I had a really comfy chair on my balcony and I breathed sea air for 6 days, which the reason we do this is because my lungs are shot and sea air gives me a break, right? So I throughout the year, all my asthma medications increase. Then I go and spend a week at the sea. Within 2 days, I'm able to drop them right back and breathe that better air and then start the progress again, you know? So I got to have all this and just get back into your content. Make the next video. Excuse me. I need the hot tea. Have the next live stream, move on, keep going. And this is the same if you've had a long break, if you've needed a long break for other commitments in life, things happening, whatever, 6 months off your channel, a year off your channel, whatever, start uploading. Pop in a community post like, hey guys, I'm posting again. Appreciate your patience and move on. Just get the uploads going again. That's the only thing that will get your momentum back. And don't bombard people with 15 things at once because they're going to have to choose which one they're going to watch. So make the first one a good one. You know, make it something fun or interesting or on topic or whatever it is that your niche is. Just make the next video because I know none of us like to hear this. Some people may not have noticed that you weren't uploading. So there's no point making a big deal about it in a video. Oh, I was away for this long and I'm so glad you're still here and let's make this thing or let's crochet, you know, this square or whatever. Whatever it is that your niche is, just make the next video. Just like it was dropped a week after your last video. Because not everybody in your audience has watched every video. And while we are the center of our own universes, we're not the center of theirs. We're just not. You know, there will be a few core members of your community who probably already messaged you, probably already sent, you know, something to your other socials or posted in your other groups or whatever, checking you're okay. You can reply to them in those places. But when it comes to what you're putting back onto YouTube, just make it the next video. Just make it the next video. And if you want to have a live stream, something special where you're talking about, like if the reason that you were away for so long is something that's relevant to your audience, you can have a live stream about that if you want. But just make the next piece of content and keep going. But what I want to say is while taking a break in itself will not kill your channel, you need to understand there will be consequences to the decisions. So yes, on the Fiberific channel, I've lost the views from that live stream that I didn't create. I also got that time back in my life. So I got to have a week off. but watch time on other things increased. So, you know, like you have to look at the broader picture. Yeah, I just wrote, I will not be live today. Sorry for the inconvenience, and post that everywhere. Yeah, absolutely. Little Crafty Nook says, good idea. I get caught up in giving explanations. Russell says, I was essentially dormant for 7 months of 2023. Yeah, life happens. Yes, sometimes momentum can be a powerful force. If you skip it for too long, getting back into the swing can be harder. That is true. It's absolutely true. Getting back into your groove can be a lot harder. Getting back into your groove, you know, especially if you've not recorded a video at all, you're like, oh man, what are the settings that I like to use? You know what I mean? Like there's lots of little moving pieces of being a creator. Like, and what has changed on YouTube in 7 months? Because, well, it can be a lot. It can be a lot has changed. You may need to be writing your titles differently, creating different styles of thumbnails. Use this time as an experimental phase. It sounds wonderful. I can't wait to go to the beach. Yeah, look, it's really funny, like just as a side topic. What's really funny is A, I'm not a sun person, okay? And B, I'm not a sand person. But oh man, am I a sea air person. Like we're in an apartment that was across the road from the beach, so I could see the sand, I could see the beach. But I just got to breathe the air, so that was great. Russell says, there is a balance between the gains you might make by staying on the hamster wheel and the insights you might receive in a needed break. Absolutely. Sometimes, are you right there, Louis? Did you go and chase Tibbles around the house and it made you feel better? Goodness me. He's back. But yeah, like that's the thing, right? Because how true is it where, you know, if something's happening in our lives and we can't really see it because it's so gradual, but then somebody from the outside looks in and just puts it into words instantly. Sometimes we need to step away and then be the person looking in to see it for ourselves. So yeah, sometimes you just need those extra insights. Sand, me either, but sand is okay. I love watching the little sand pipers. I don't know what sandpipers are. Balance in all things as much as possible. And it's hard to be objective about the things you are deep inside of. Yes, all these things are true. All of these things are true. And quite honestly, sometimes taking even just a short break is enough. 6 days, I don't know if that's a short break for you. For me, that's a short break. I did something I don't usually do in those breaks as well. I actually, poor Doug, sorry Doug, and thank you for holding the fort. I know that you absolutely don't need me for anything, but I really do appreciate you making it such a non-event for me to go, hey, I want to take this night off, and you just go, yeah, no worries, I got this. I didn't moderate any streams on Saturday. Now that's usually I moderate Doug's at 10:30 till 11:30ish, then go into Nick's from midnight till 3, and then lately Daryl's been going from around 3 till around 4:30, and then I have Sharon go to bed as my family are waking up, and that's usually what I do. But I even took that off, and that was the weirdest feeling, going to bed just as Doug's stream was starting. That felt so wrong. It felt wrong, like legitimately wrong. And that was when I realized, okay, I do need to take this off every now and again. And I very much appreciated that Doug made it so easy for me to do. And that, you know, the other the creators that I mod for were like cool with it. But I was like, I felt like I was leaving Doug in the lurch, but he didn't make me feel like I was leaving him in the lurch at all, which I really appreciated. Those teeny tiny birds that run really fast, I don't think we've got them. Do we have them here? We have seagulls and pelicans. They don't run fast. Unless you've got chips, then seagulls run really fast. Russell says, I'm actually working fewer hours on my social media efforts and seeing bigger gains. That's awesome. That's so good. I'm glad. Do you think that's a momentum thing because you got to a certain stage and now you can step back a bit? Or do you think that you could have done that from the start, but you just didn't know you could? I'd love to know your feedback on that. Doug's the GOAT. Doug is the GOAT. Absolutely. I don't even think he's here. I think he's at work now, but Doug is the absolute GOAT. Yeah, food is a big motive for seagulls. Isn't it though? Isn't it though? Yeah. There's a comedian who's Australian guy. I can't think of his name. I'm picturing his face. And he was talking about how there's no that there's no baby cockatoos, and what his theory is that seagulls just get so excited and they go and their little eyebrows go up and up and up until they become a cockatoo. So yeah, I'll have to find that skit somewhere for somebody, but it cracks me up. He does it hilariously. What I did was just destroyed it. I just destroyed it. He's hilarious. Aline Smith, great to see you. Thanks for jumping in. So yeah, we just need to be mindful of our own limitations and our need for rest, because we could be pushing and pushing and pushing, and it's actually doing detriment, not just to ourselves and to our mental health, but your audience aren't stupid. They know when you need a break. They know when it's like, she might need a bit of time just to, just to get a grip. They know when you're wasting their time. They know when you're doing filler content. They know when you've lost your passion. They know these things. You know these things when you're watching people. So take the break. Little Crafty Nook says, oh, that's the sandpipers. Okay. Russell says, in answer to my question, not at the start. Go 6 months all out of starting. It's not momentum as much as it is being in alignment with your Dharma. Okay. So that's good to know. Are you right there, Lou? Are you having a scratch? Okay. Yeah, okay, good to know. I appreciate you answering that, because I know it's a big question. It's a loaded question, really, because it's going to depend on niche and personality, and but I really appreciate you answering that. So, because I agree. I think that gets to a point where you need to reevaluate. You need to get started, go all in, learn all the things, work out what your audience actually want, not what you just want to create, and then refine, right? And then once you get to that refining stage, you need to reevaluate. Okay, are my audience really who I think they are? Do they actually want this content? And do they need it? Like, what do they actually need? And then go from there. So you learn, refine, and go again. That's how I see it. Yeah, if they will know. They will know. Yeah. So let me know in the chat, when was your last break that you took that was a full break, not just off work, but off work, social media, everything, and you just shut down and walked away? Now, I will say my hobbies are all on the computer as well, so I still took a whole bag of technology away with me on my break. I had my laptop, my iPad, my phone, because all my patterns are on my iPad, and what if I wanted to look at stuff? It's easier on Ravelry on my laptop, So I didn't take a break from technology or social media. I just took a break from posting. John, I feel you. I can't take it. Like, these people are like, oh, I'm having a month off social media. I'm just thinking, really? Why? It's so fun here. I get why they need to, but I'm like, I couldn't. Maybe I should because of that exact reason. But yeah, it is. It could be quite tricky. So yeah, I'm going to have a sip of my tea while you guys let me know, when was your last break? And I'll double check the notes. We've got through all the notes, just so we know. One thing I recommend is using even a lunch break to reset. Take that time to be on your own. Take a 15-minute break to breathe. These small breaks do you wonders. And as you said, be mindful. Yeah. Yeah, like that's definitely that's definitely important to actually be able to be focused for the day, is to be able to take those moments. Different people need different things, but yeah, I definitely see that. Little Crafty Nook says, I don't even remember. Okay. John says it was a proper break. It wasn't a proper break, but I did forego a live stream a week ago because of tiredness. Yes. You also need to align your true goals with your efforts. Too many folks spend their time searching for the magic hack will get them to the place they really don't want to go. Oh, I love that. Because how true is that, Russell? How many times have we seen that? People push and push and push and end up like, but I wanted to be over there, but now I'm over here. And do I stay here or what do I do? Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. I think being aware is such a big thing. Like, you know, people are like, oh, it's so, you know, like, it's, you know, there's some people that are like, oh, it's woke. It's, you know, just, we don't need that kind of level of awareness about ourselves. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. We need to know what our energy levels are at. We need to know what drains us, what doesn't drain us. If something drains us, but it's worthy of doing, how do we refuel and replenish after it? For me, a big one was the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Festival, right? I would work for months. It's our biggest yarn crafting event in the country. It's bigger than Rhinebeck, right? So if you're in the US, Google Rhinebeck. Bigger than Rhinebeck. It's actually the biggest sheep and wool show in the Southern Hemisphere. And I had a stall at it every year for nearly 10 years. And it's 2 states away. And I would drive to it by myself. It would take me 2 days of driving to get there each way. And I would work so much. I would burn, like I was burning the candle at both ends. And I would, you know, create all the stuff I needed to sell, pack it all, get it ready, drive down, do the event, drive home, and then collapse for a month afterwards. I couldn't live stream. I couldn't do anything. Part of it was because all I could see was a white line of the highway for you know, a couple of days. But I would get sick and my body would be like, okay, we pushed for too hard for too long. But you need to work out, is it worth it? And then how do you recover? Now, I don't recommend doing what I did, but I had reasons why I had to do it the way I did. And I had tried workarounds and I couldn't get them to work properly. So, you know, you have to decide why you're doing what you're doing. Do you really want it? And go from there. Now, Let's Cut the Scrap says, because sometimes we take our problems with us everywhere you go. Then you get home from your vacation and you need another vacation. I would have liked an extra day on my vacation, but I think I'm okay. And that's the thing. We need to understand what our problems are and work on them. We can't just run away from them. John says, after an hour of streaming, I need a coffee and a rest. Do you know what, John? After our live streams and after the streams over on Fiberific, I need to go and I actually just turn off the lights in here and walk away. I go and get I grab one of my cups. Usually I've still got tea left and water left, and I grab those. I go and sit in the lounge room and I walk away and I rest. Now, Fiberific, I finish just on lunch. So I make my lunch and I sit down and I eat my lunch quietly and I just have to replenish that energy before I can barrel into the rest of the afternoon. We have to work out what we need to do. So it's the same thing. Russell's saying here, another example, if you want 20,000 subscribers, will you have the same live at that level? And are you prepared to support that level? That is an excellent question, because as your channel grows and your community grows, it changes, right? It really does. It just changes. And is that what you want? That is so true. Yeah, I'm the same. I actually, at the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show, I actually created my stall to be a fort. So most people would have their tables all lined up so people could walk around all the tables, because, you know, I had a double stall, so I had 6 tables. So they could walk around the tables, and then you just put your point of sale sort of at one end in a corner somewhere or away from everything, so you can watch everything, and then people would line up and pay. No. I created my tables so they were like a fort, and there's a little entry where I could get in and out, so I could come out when I was able to people up close. Otherwise, I was the width of a table away from people, and I had to do it that way. And yeah, sure, it did make it so that I could put less stock out, but it's what I had to do to mentally be able to cope with 20,000 people over a weekend. So yeah. Oh mate, if my streams were at night, I would probably agree. I would agree. I got this, you know what? And I'm not judging people who drink through the day. I'm not, but I just really struggle. I'm not comfortable with it. So yeah. I had someone say from Grow with Video Live say, don't let your comfort zone become your kill zone. How true is that? That is an excellent point. That is so true. That is so true. Gosh. Wow. Because I think I've let Fibrific get to a point where I've been in my comfort zone for so long that it's very hard to push out of it. I'm just double checking. We talked about balancing our lives. We did. We talked about batch recording and scheduling in advance. Community engagement. One thing we didn't talk about was delegating and outsourcing. I know not all of us can do that, right? I know we can't. I know not everybody has that possibility. But those of us that do need to also take advantage of that while we're away, while we're having our break, so that when we come back, it's like when you took a break from your job, like your 9 to 5 up, you come back from your week away and your desk would just be piled with stuff. And you'd just be kind of looking at it, and you would be like, I wish I hadn't have had the week off, because now look what I've got to come back to. You know, I enjoyed my holiday, but look at this. Yeah. Russell says Fibrific is a great example. Hang on, let me bring it on screen. Would not be the same with 600 on a live all commenting at once. You're right. I would struggle a lot more. Because I do want everybody who is watching my live streams to feel like I'm trying to connect with them. And I've streamed to 600 people before, and it is a lot harder to just catch all the comments. And so you have to make the decision of what you want. Or bring in alternative options. Like Nick Nimmin, right? Prime example. He does his live streams. He has hundreds of people watching, all want his attention, all want him to answer their questions. So he's brought in the form system. So if they've got a specific question that needs answering, they can fill out the form and he can read their question, and he can specifically target and help that person. So if you have a really busy stream, there are ways around being able to make sure you are interacting, and those people that have come to you for help, because obviously I have an education channel, but those people that come to you for something particular can actually, get that across to you. There are ways to do it. But also, like we were saying before, communicate the realities. There's 600 people watching. There is no physical way I can answer every single comment and question that you've put in here, but I will try my best. And that's all you can really do, right? I don't know how I'd go. I honestly don't know how I'd go with the 600 person stream every single time. Because for me, the live streaming is so much about the interaction between myself and you. It really is. It's what like, I love it when you comment and when you put your point across and when you know, make a statement or answer one of my questions or interact in the chat. And I get that not everybody can do that because they're lurking. They've got to get other work done. But they're still being supportive. They're still here. But I really want to make those people that make that effort to type in and ask a question or crack a little joke or drop an emoji or something. I want that to be something around, you know, I want that to be what I've got. And I think that's the thing, right? We have to decide the kind of streams that we want to have. Nick has and uses an incredible amount of energy. Some enjoy climbing mountains weekly, others like a cozy group. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Look, seriously, there's ways to increase the viewers of your live streams. If you've got a channel with the potential of a larger live stream and you're getting a small slice of the pie and you're confused about why, for a start, not everybody likes a live stream, right? Not everybody likes a replay if they're not in the right time zones. So if you want to naturally, and it doesn't always work, I just need to get that out first. But if you want to organically increase or decrease the number of viewers in your live stream, change your time zone. Change the time that you stream in. Test it out. See what you've got. Because here in Australia, if I stream in the mornings, like my mornings, which is 9 a.m. It was 9 a.m. when we started the stream here for me. It's about 10:15 now. If I stream in the mornings, I can include a lot of you who are my US audience. But if I stream in the evenings, like my evening, I would be more likely to get my UK viewers, which is a smaller subset of people. You have to make the decisions on these things. You really do. Russell says, if the number of subs and views are your goal on YouTube, long-form videos of around 10 minutes each are the answer in his honest opinion. I will say I agree mostly. If subs and views are your goal on YouTube, long-form content is what you need. I will say that. I don't think there's a specific time. Long-form is over 2 minutes, technically. Oh, it used to be, I think the definition is 3 minutes now. Long-form is that. So I think long form content that people can just watch whenever they need to watch it, that's the way to go. I will say, and a few people have been talking about this lately, but check where your audiences are watching from. If your audience is watching from a television, they can actually usually handle a longer video. A lot of my views on my Fiberific channel are being watched on televisions. I have something like a 45%, I think it's 45% skew over there for TVs. It might be 35. It's a lot higher percentage than the rest of the rest. And people watching TVs, they're lean back viewers rather than lean forward viewers, right? And so you have to think about what kind of content you're creating. But yeah, subs and views, don't just live stream. You've got to make pre-recorded content. John says, I've ranted about this before, but I won't stream at 3 a.m. just to get both American and European folks. I need to sleep. I'm the same. I work for people at those times, and if I'm being, it sounds mercenary. If I'm being paid, I will get up, I will do my work, and I will do it joyfully. But I won't stream at that time every single. And my daughter's a special, something exciting, something thrilling, whatever. A special thing, maybe. Still unlikely, but as a regular, no. No. I like either a morning stream or an evening stream. In saying that, I tend to go morning streams. Little Crafty Nook, thank you so much for the coffee. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Doug says 10:30 p.m. to 11:30 I'll do, but not 3 a.m. Yeah, look, I'm the same, Doug. And what's really funny is, and my husband and I were discussing this while we were on our holiday, and he was just like, because he is a morning person, right? He is like a get up at 5 a.m., off for a walk, go and check out the world kind of person. I'm like, if you touch me at that time in the morning, I'm going to punch you. Seriously, unless I'm catching a flight or I'm working, don't even start with me at that time of the morning. That's like when I'm going to bed, right? Oh gosh. John says, I forget which state Doug is in, but I'm often asleep before he starts. Doug's here in Brisbane as well, yeah. Oh, Russell, I missed my chairs so much. The place we stayed at had awful chairs. Awful. Like the couch you would sit on, and not just like, because I'm big, but my husband's not. And even and the same thing happened to him. You'd sit on it and the cushions would compress and you were sitting on the wooden slat, like the, you know, of the couch, the timber, you know, each section of seat you've got. So even if you wanted to lay on the couch, right, it was just like squashed down cushion, big wooden bar, squashed down, not comfy at all, not comfy. 0 stars on the couches. The dining table chairs, they were fine. And the outside chairs, they were fine too. But not the couches. They were dreadful. And we've stayed in that place before, but in a different apartment. The couches in the other apartment were fantastic. So, yeah. Frustration station. Captain Crush, great to see you here. Thanks for jumping in. But yeah, I definitely missed my chair. I love this chair. It's holding up so well. It's got a little mark on it where a cat was. I've been trying to clean it off and I think I've made it worse, whatever. But I'll keep working on that. But other than that, perfect. It's perfect. I love it. I don't get sore being in this chair, which is just what you want, right? That's what you want. Thanks, Doug. Oh, man. But yeah, I mean, the TLDR on this whole live stream, if you've just walked in, if you've just catching this bit, which the TLDR is supposed to be at the start, so haha to you. You get to do what you want to do. You need to take breaks. You're a human person. You are not a machine. You have to take breaks, right? Understanding the consequences of how long or what types of breaks you take and planning around it. Okay, so you can schedule ahead. You can create community posts. You can have great conversations with your community about what you're planning on doing. Then come back and just get back to work. You don't need to explain everything. You don't need to explain it to death. You just need to do the next thing. And understand that the cost will be you'll lose the views for that one video that you missed, or that one live stream that you missed, or the 5 live streams you missed, or whatever it is. You will lose those views. Some people will go and watch your other content instead, and some people will go off and watch other content entirely. That's the cost. But what's the cost of you not taking a break? What's the cost of you totally burning out and needing to abandon your channel for months on end? That's how I look at it. Captain Crush says, I haven't been feeling good the last few days, but I am so much better now. I'm glad to hear you feeling better. I am. I'm glad to hear that. Russell says you can buy yeah, I know. I can buy new skins if I need to. I've been looking at it like, do I need to replace this? I don't want to replace it yet. I'm going to keep trying. Are you sure I'm not AI? Fairly sure. Not 100% certain. Are you sure I'm not AI? John says, by annoying people on social media, I'm now on 700 subscribers. The system works. By annoying the people. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love it. Oh, wow. John says, yeah, well, this stuff is a marathon, not a sprint. Pace yourself before you wreck yourself. Oh my gosh, that is so true. You have to pace yourself before you wreck yourself. Russell says, I'm better than AI. Yeah, you are. I think we're all better than AI, personally. AI is fine. Like, I'm not anti-AI or anything like that. I kind of wanted AI to come in and do my housework though, rather than my art. I wanted AI to come in and do the jobs that I don't want to do, so I've got time to do the stuff I love. That's what I wanted. So I'm just disappointed. I'm just disappointed with it. Oh, yeah, I agree, Crafty Nook. That is absolutely like perfect. Pace yourself before you wreck yourself. I used to try to make new and exciting things every day, but now I'm like, make one good thing a week and promote the older stuff that other people haven't yet enjoyed. Yep. I need Rosie. I do need Rosie, Russell. I need Rosie so badly. And I want her sass and I want everything about Rosie. Absolutely, I do. I think the Jetsons set us up for disappointment. I thought we'd have flying cars by now, that we'd have, actually, speaking of flying cars, my husband and I, we have these, interesting conversations while we're driving around. And we were talking about this exact thing, about how the Jetsons disappointed us and we don't have Rosie for the housework and we don't have, all this sort of stuff. And he was just saying, I watched a video the other week and they were talking about how, having flying cars wouldn't solve, because we were stuck in traffic is what the problem was. Having flying cars wouldn't solve the congestion. We'd just have congestion in the air. And he's gone, transporter technology, however. And I'm just like, yeah, I want transporter technology. Like, can you imagine just being able to just have your bags, walk up to a pad, and then be zapped over to in front of your hotel? You don't have to worry about shuttles and what have you, and then stay across the planet for like a week and not have to worry about airfares. Oh my gosh. Or the 20 hours it takes on the plane. Yeah, I'm there for that. I'm there for that. We wanted flying cars, but we just got terrible tech bro CEOs. I love that. It's so true. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Tech for Your Needs says YouTube is not life. Some people take it like it is life. There needs to be a fine balance. Go out there and touch grass. I agree. You need to get out there. You need to get out there and touch grass. And I know not everybody has grass. Like I've got a lawn, like that my husband has to look after, which he grumbles about every week, let me tell you. But we've got grass here. Go and find some grass. Go and stand in a park. Kick your shoe off while no one's looking if it's a judgmental place. And just sneakily put your foot in the grass. Like, absolutely. Trips really would be more enjoyable, wouldn't they? They really would be. They really would be. Russell says that we have flying cars in the US and they're experimental. Oh, wow. Okay. I wonder how long before they become a bit more mainstream. Oh, it's been 20 years. Okay. I'm curious. I'd like to see them. But yeah, I'd rather they focus their energy on transporter technology. But, everyone's like, oh, it's science fiction. You can't have it. And I'm like, oh, hello. When Star Trek were using their little flip communicators back in the 70s, we didn't have mobile phones then, did we? Well, we've got them now. Ha, ha, ha. And the little tech tablets that they used in Next Generation, and they walk around doing their paperwork on them and what have you, and everyone was just like, that's ridiculous. That's never going to happen. Ha, ha, ha. I've got an iPad. So, it'll come. It'll come. They probably are too expensive. I was at Walmart the other day and someone's car door swings upward. I was like, wait, did I transport into Back to the Future? Yes. Yeah, it was the birth of the cell phone. It was, right? Like, it may not happen now, and they may prove that it's not possible. Like, some things are really just too fantastical to end up being true. But be interesting to see if they can at least try it. Yeah, the Jetsons. The Jetsons. They have a lot to answer for. They set us up for a false reality. Like we wanted their stuff. We wanted Rosie. We wanted flying cars that compact down to little suitcases so that they don't have to worry about parking. Like, I mean, how much, even just that. So if we still had to drive cars on the road rather than fly, but then they would pack down to a little suitcase that you could carry around so no one had to find parking, that could be good too. Turn all the parking bays into green space. How nice would that be? I'm just, you know. Can you imagine how nice like residential streets and stuff would look? You know, if there weren't cars parked everywhere all the time, you could just compact them down. Yeah, trying to find a parking lot. You just need somewhere that you can pull over, step out of your vehicle, and then let it compact down. So there'd probably be a lineup where people can do that, like, you know, as they do it. And there'll always be that one car that won't pack down properly, and it's, you know, that's the congestion because we can't have anything perfect. Wow, we've really gone off topic. I've just looked at the time. It's okay because it's off topic time. Off topic time. So, I need a jingle, and I need to make a. Oh, Louis gone. I didn't even notice. We need a jingle. We need some graphics for off topic time where we get to just randomly blather on about stuff. Tech for your needs. Off topic. My birthday is on Tuesday. Happy birthday for Tuesday. Or tomorrow. Tomorrow for me. So happy birthday for tomorrow or Tuesday for everybody else. That is awesome. That is so awesome. Part of our trip away was on the 22nd, so on Saturday, was our 22nd wedding anniversary. It wasn't, oh, Louis back now. It wasn't planned as a trip away for our anniversary. It just happened that the dates lined up. But yeah, that was our thing. But happy birthday. That is awesome. You need that. We do need a happy birthday command, don't we? Happy birthday command needs to happen. Let me just write that down. Happy birthday. We definitely need a happy birthday command. Because you know what? We all have birthdays. And I want to celebrate everyone's birthdays. But then I'm also absolutely rubbish with remembering birthdays. So you need to tell me. Thank you, Little Crafty Nook. Appreciate that. Yeah, so I need to make a graphic for off-topic time. I need like a really off-tune jingle for it because that's what I love is an off-tune jingle. So, yeah. Yeah, people will never write on digital tablets. Chantelle pulls out an iPad and a pen. Actually, I can legit do it right now. Here we go. Because I haven't unpacked my tech bag and it's sitting behind me and I have an iPad with a pen. Oh, oh dear. Hey, like when you guys go on holidays, is it just me? Like I've got my suitcase for my clothes, right? And then I had like a big tote thing full of craft projects. And then I had my you know, my backpack. My backpack with all my tech in it. So all my cables and cords and everything like that. So yeah. And my husband just come out with his like suitcase. And he was just like, are we taking all of that? And I'm like, yes. Yes, we are. We're taking it all. I could kick myself now for buying the Remarkable. What's the Remarkable? I don't know what that is. I watched this one stream where they say, get out your paper and your pen. And I'm like, I'm on a computer. I could type. But cool. Look, you know what? I'm a paper and a pen person. I've got my iPad. I've got notes apps. I've got everything. But I'm a note taker. It's just an automatic response to grab a paper and a pen because I'm old, right? That's what we do. In saying that, if you want like a fantastic note keeping, like a note taking app, if you're watching videos and stuff, Tube Spanner. You need to go and install Tube Spanner. I think I've got a link in the description. You can go and get a free account and you can go and install TubeSpanner and grab their note-taking app. It is fantastic. So I know Doug uses it for collecting the timestamps on Nick's live streams, but basically you can have it on while you're watching a video, and you can start taking a note, and it'll add in the timestamp automatically, and you can just keep going, you know. I love it. I think it's great. Let's have a look here. That's how my mum is, but with 5 to 10 bags. I mean, I had 3 bags in a bigger bag. So I just had to carry 1 bag, but it had 3 bags worth of stuff in it. Oh, the life of a techie. Absolutely. Here it is. Absolutely. Yeah. I write with a pen so infrequently, sometimes my hand forgets how to do it. I have to address an envelope or something. Oh, I love a good pen. You know, so Fibrific, these are my Fibrific pens. I've got boxes of Fibrific pens, and like I give them out and stuff, but I'm like, I can't give them all out because I need them. They got a great stylus on the end. They were fantastic during COVID. I was giving them to people left, right, and center because this stylus would work on bank machines. So you didn't even have to touch a teller. It was fantastic. Little Crafty Nooks said, oh, the Remarkable is a digital pad that you write on, and you can convert it to print and upload it onto your computer. That's an interesting way. I've never heard of it. That's so cool. TubeSpanner for the win. Absolutely. I built a travel tech kit based on a high-end laptop. All fits in a computer bag and does everything my desktop system will do. Me too. Me too. I do have to steal one thing off my desktop, which is like one of my little dongles. I steal that. But other than that, I've got it. And I took away a couple of little lights just in case. Because I'm old and I'm blind, and sometimes places don't have good enough lighting for me to be able to see what I'm doing. So I just take lights with me. It's sad. Is that sad? It feels like it's sad. Oh, it was good, but now it won't update. Oh no, that's awful. But I also bring an iPad for in-conference communications and social media. Yep. Yeah, I look, I take my iPad, I take my phone, I take my laptop. Like, it's that simple. It all fits in one bag. I don't have a smaller bag as an option anyway, so you know, like that's what I've got. That's what I'm using. So I actually think, like, I love the bag I have. It was a gift and I love it. It's probably a dash on the bigger side, and I think I would also like something. It's super useful if I need to take a pile of stuff, but I would also, I feel so ungrateful saying this. I would love to have just a slightly smaller bag. Like, I love the quality of this bag, and that it's got a spot for my laptop, and that everything that goes into it is safe and secure, and it's not going to get broken. And I love that about this bag, but I would like something a little smaller, I think, for everyday use. Like, I mean, I'm not a big handbag girl. Like, I have a handbag, but I'm not a big handbag girl. So, I prefer a handbag over a backpack, I'll be honest. I actually prefer a side bag. Like, what are they called? Crossbody bags? I prefer those. I don't like the handbag that you've got to hold with your arm because it's got the little, like, handbag. I don't like that. Yeah, I mean, technically speaking, this big backpack's small enough for carry-on. But ready for a whole other level of problem on planes. I need my luggage to fit under the seat. Why? Because I can't reach the overhead lockers. I can put things in it. If it's already open, I can throw my things up there. I can't get them back out again. So if I put something up there, I have to wait for the tall person and be like, hi, can you please get my bag? Like an idiot. So I just don't put things up there if I can avoid it. Tech for Your Needs says, my iPad is glued to me when I travel. Yeah. I mean, before I upgraded and got my laptop, oops, I'll just smash that. With my iPad, I'm just going to double check what's on screen here. Nothing. Oh, no, there we go. I'll just turn that off. I've got mine on a keyboard, and that was awesome. It was a great intermediate while I was deciding what to do, because my laptop, my little laptop, like my lighter weight laptop, died. It was just, it wouldn't hold a charge for long enough to be useful. It was frustrating and it was annoying. And I was in this position where I was just like, I really want to buy a MacBook Pro, but I don't have MacBook Pro money. Do I just go and buy a Windows-based laptop, or do I keep saving? So I decided to keep saving, and then I ended up working an event where I earned a bit of extra cash that I wasn't anticipating, and I ended up with MacBook money. So I'm glad I didn't buy the other laptop, and I waited until I got the MacBook, because like we have Apple tax in Australia where all our Apple devices are just freaking ridiculously expensive. And it's not even just straight dollar conversions. It's a bit dumb, but it's one of those things. Russell, I appreciate the tall people who helped short people. I definitely do. I very much appreciate the tall people that help the short people and don't make us feel worse. I just don't like that. My husband just says I'm a control freak who doesn't like when I can't do things myself, and I don't like to rely on other people. So it's part of a broader problem. I can't get my own bag myself. It's not going up there. I used to go mountain hiking, believe it or not. And I had a rule, which was if I couldn't reach the handhold by myself without help, I wasn't going up. And so I would get to certain points on mountains where that was as far as I went, and I'd swing off and just hang out and wait, and find a ledge to sit on or whatever. And then my friends would go all the way, and they're like, "Hey, we can boost you up to that next hold." I'm like, no. If I can't get up by myself, I'm certainly not going to be able to get down by myself. And what if something happens? So yeah, it's just what it did. Most people really are. Like seriously, I don't really. I've had a couple of looks because the person was only marginally taller than me, and I'm like, that's the important couple of inches right there. I just can't reach it. I can nearly reach it. I can touch it, but I can't grab it. So but yeah, it is. It's all in my head. It's all in my head. I like to do things myself in my way. Yep. I get it. Hey, geology dudes, great to see you in the chat. Thanks for jumping in. We are up to the time of the live stream where we just talk about whatever. We're just in the off-topic time where we're just randomly talking about all sorts of things. But yeah, currently we're talking about how I'm too short to live in this world comfortably. For my comfort, not for anybody else's. So yeah, this world is designed for tall people. My house is designed for tall people. There are cupboards I can't reach without a footstool. Do you know how frustrating that is? It's my house. Why are there things I can't reach in my own house? Anyway, it's very frustrating. I find the existence of being a bit on the shorter side. And look, I'm not exceptionally short. I'm like 5'3". I'm not like 4 foot. I'm short. But yeah. See, you're taller than me, little crafty nook. See? You'd be the person that would look at me weirdly when I asked you for help. Because you're like, well, I'm not that much taller than you. But that's that magic couple of inches that could just reach it. I can't reach it. But yeah. Also at the supermarket. But funnily enough, at the supermarket, I don't feel the same thing. I think what it is. All right, here we go. I actually know what the problem is on planes. I really do. I don't like being on planes. I'm a big person. I already feel like I'm being judged on a plane because I take up more space than people want, right? And no one has ever actually said anything to me. I'll be really honest. No one has said a word. But I feel it. I feel it in the looks of relief when people are looking at the seats and realize they're in the row behind me, not next to me, things like that. And so it's that sort of thing. And then, everyone, when they want to get off the plane, they want to get off fast and they want to do all this sort of stuff. And then there's this person who can't reach her bag and she's in the way and she's blocking the way. So of course someone has to help her, right? So I'm like, I don't like being in other people's ways. I don't like to be I don't like to hold anyone else up and slow them down just because of my limitations. That's what it is. All right, let's have a look at live stream consultant says, sorry, I'm late. What did I miss? The delivery driver getting chased with the band hammer. Am I tall enough to run into every cabinet door left open? You are so tall. Absolutely. You could be taken out face-wise straight in the cupboards. Absolutely. Absolutely. Tech Needs says, I'm 5'7" and I also struggle. Yeah. It's just one of these things, right? Mumble, babble, and jabberwocky, all acceptable in this part of the stream. Absolutely. Yes, it is. Jelly Dude says, I'm too tall. I've got a door frame brain. Sorry. I've got door frame brain damage. I'm vertically challenged too, but the opposite way. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. Look, I've got one of my best friends is so tall. He has to duck to come in our front door, and it's a standard height door. It's not like a UK door where like everyone has to duck. And we've got like some like, you know, some rooms and the rooms aren't actually like it's mostly open plan, but every now and again there's like not quite an exposed beam kind of thing, but there's that piece of prettiness. We don't know why they're there. They probably have a purpose. But he has to duck under those as well. And we can't have the ceiling fans on when he's here, just in case. Because we don't want to hurt our friends. We don't want to hurt our friends. But my husband, he's also short. He doesn't like me saying he's short, but he is 5'6", and so he's taller than me. But he is you know, is he 5'7"? He might be 5'7". Our daughter reminds us daily how short we are because she's taller than both of us. Not by much, I want to say. I think she's like 5'9", but she is taller than both of us. And isn't it interesting? In Australia, we're metric and we still discuss heights in feet and inches. That's the only thing that's feet and inches in Australia. And then we have to convert it because on all our driver's licenses and everything, it's all metric. So I'm like 163 centimeters tall, just over 1.5 meters. But yeah, it's you know, it's one of those things. It's one of those things. So like I look at like, you know, crochet blanket patterns. It's like it's going to make a, you know, a 1.8 meter blanket. I'm like, yes, there's going to be tons of room. Goodness me. But yes, it's one of those things. It's one of those things. Hello, Lou. Louis is also sad that his friend is gone. But he's also sad that he's got a little ear infection and he doesn't like it when we have to put the medicine in his ears. He hates it. He also gives us a look of like, I hate you too right now. But then after you've finished, he's like, but I still love you. And you can give me pats and cuddles and I'm not getting off your lap now. I'm going to stay here until you push me off. Because he's a lap dog. I'm not used to having such a lappy lap dog. I mean, luckily he's tiny. Oh, hey, lucky you're a tiny boy, Lou. It's like, I'm not tiny, I'm a big dog. My house is mostly 7-foot ceilings and no ceiling fans for me either. Yeah, that would be dangerous for you. I don't know how tall our ceilings are. I know we definitely have 6-foot doorways. So yeah, probably 7-foot ceilings. Now that I'm thinking about it. I'd have to measure it. I can't reach the ceiling to change a light bulb. I have to get out a ladder. You'd be really useful to have around for that sort of stuff, I'm sure. Yeah, I think it's 7 foot. I don't know, what is the standard in Australia? It's whatever the standard is. It's definitely not 9-foot ceilings, I can tell you that. They're the big ones that make you feel like you're in expansive space. That's not here. We don't have that. Yeah. Sidetracked. Talk about off topic. Off topic time. Louis, what are you doing there? Most door openings in general are 84 inches. I'm just going to quickly Google it. The standard door height is 2040 mil, but most new homes have 2340 mil. What does that equal? 2030 mil. Oops. Come on. Delete. 20-30 millimeters to inches. 80 inches. So 79.92 inches. The standard interior ceiling height in Australian homes is 2.4 meters, which is 8 feet. That would mean that my office is basically a cube because my walls are 2.4 meters. That actually makes sense. That makes sense. I could get a tape measure and measure it, but I'm not going to. Okay, how about gardening? We can't garden at our place due to homeowners association, but I scored a nice little plot in our church's community garden and I'm so excited. I've heard Russell has informed me about homeowners associations because I don't know if we really have it here. I know I don't have it at my home. So I can do whatever the heck I want. I hang my laundry out on a clothesline. Well, actually I don't because I can't reach it, but my husband does. Hangs the laundry on a clothesline, and we can have gardens, we can have fences, we can put whatever fence we want, we can paint our homes whatever color we want. The only real thing is we just kind of got to keep the lawns cut. That's the big thing, and that's not a homeowners association thing. That's a council thing. So yeah, I don't have it here, but I'm sure that other places might. I know my husband's family owned a home in an area they weren't allowed to build a front fence on, which I thought was weird. But yeah, I've never lived in a home where that's happened. It doesn't mean they don't exist here. It's just I'm not in one. Doug says he's measured his with the measuring app, 2.32 meters. Okay. Yep. In Australian yeah, body corporates in apartment buildings, definitely, where there's lots of rules about that, which is why I probably wouldn't buy an apartment. And I know, like, if you live in like a caravan park or something like that, then there's rules as well. But I think, yeah, I think we don't really have HOAs like you guys do, like how a community decides to have a HOA. We don't really do that as far as I'm aware. But if it's like a caravan park or something like that, you don't actually own the land you're on, so you got to follow their rules. What is indeed restricted communities? I don't know what indeed restricted communities are. Like, and apparently they're what we have here in Australia. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Russell knows these things. This is his jam. We are in Russell territory now. I had to replace our front door as it was damaged, and it was only 74 inches tall with a standard door. I had to reframe the opening. I still have to duck going out the back door. Gosh. Condominiums are basically just apartments you buy, right? Yeah, I think we have condos and apartments, and I think that the words are used interchangeably here. And units is the other thing we call them, units. So it's basically like one building, multiple heights with multiple dwellings on each level. Yeah, I see that. I think the same thing, Doug. And and the only real thing I've seen about HOAs, is like the horror things that you see on the social medias where someone will walk up to someone's house and they'll be like knocking on their door, some rando chick who just lives around the road that you don't know. And she'll be like, I'm in the HOA and you're not allowed to park your car here. You have to put it in your garage. You're not allowed to leave it in your driveway. I'd be like, get stuffed. I can leave it in my driveway if I want. It's my driveway, my car, my house. but apparently there's some HOAs have got stuff like that as well. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. So, like, that's the thing. Like, what are the benefits? Like, all I've seen are the negatives of a HOA. So there's got to be benefits, otherwise that wouldn't happen, right? So what are the benefits of a HOA? Somebody please tell me. Live stream consultant says HOAs are the devil's spawn. They empower every Karen on the planet. Okay. Let me go. I think we've kicked over an ant's nest here. We just have a community Facebook page where everyone complains about stupid stuff. We have one for our suburb. But it's a whole suburb. It's not just like a street or two. Australia has homeowners associations that manage residential communities. HOAs are more common in planned neighbourhoods. In these communities, your deed includes requirements to comply. Yeah, like if you live in a gated community, there tends to be a few more rules, but only rich people can live in gated communities here. So standard people can't, just rich people. They own the outsides of the homes. It can be a real mess when trying to hash out who pays for what with plumbing. Oh. Aaron's House of Lego says 0 benefits. They just want your money. Oh my gosh. No, there's got to be a positive, right? Like, there has to be. Why would you agree to be in it if there's no positives? The advantage is you won't have neighbours that use toilets as planters in their front yard. Who has toilets as planters in their front yard? Who would do that anyway? I mean, in the backyard, maybe. No, like seriously. Really? Is that what we're policing here? Okay. I think the only time I've ever taken, like, being concerned, not taken offense, but being concerned about somebody else's house was there was a home where it looked like the person who lived in it was really struggling, and it looked like a scrapyard in like a residential area. But my concern wasn't that they collected stuff. It was that it looked like they couldn't get in and out of the house anymore. There was all stuff on the stairs. That was my issue. Well, that's where I thought he was going with it, and then I had to reread it. Little Crafty says it's a place to live. Like I said, they pay water, refuse collection, and gardening. See, our water and refuse collection are all part of our rates. Like, as long as we pay the rates on our home, and if you're renting, the owner of the home pays the rates, and the garbage collection is all, and water is all included. Live stream consultant says in Deming, New Mexico, where I am, I would be considered rich. Guess that's why I get to own my 5 acres on a private airport. Possibly. Yeah. I suppose our definitions of rich are different from country to country as well, aren't they? I don't know, like, how much it'd cost for you to live on a private airport in Australia. Yeah. People really do that. Old bathtubs too, along with broken down cars and piles of rubbish. See, in those instances where it was like a safety hazard, like the piles of rubbish and like all that sort of stuff, that's a council issue. Our council deals with it. And so we don't have individual homeowners groups. We can just, a neighbour can just report them to the council. But for it to be actioned, it has to actually be affecting more than just the homeowner. My hubby already lived here when we met, and we've considered moving, but it's just too much hassle at this point. And you're probably used to it. Like, for me, it would be a real restrictive because I've never had to deal with it. But if you're used to it, you're used to it. So, yeah. Like here, you know, we just, yeah, I don't know. It's just a different way to live. So your council, in essence, is the HOA. Sort of. I mean, probably technically, yeah. So we have local city councils, and they're in charge of rubbish collection. They send around the big trucks, and every home gets rubbish collection. that recycling is collected, green waste is collected, that we pay our water rates through our rates notices. So when we get our quarterly rates notice from the council, we pay our excess water there as well. I'm just trying to think what else we pay the council for. They look after all like council streets. So we've got state government roads as well and federal roads, but the council look after all the sort of residential streets, making sure that they send out street sweepers and cleaners, and every couple of months they'll send out like a spray team that'll spray for weeds so the gutters don't get blocked for storm season and stuff like that. I actually don't know what else council does. Oh, that's who we have to pay. That's who we have to pay all our sort of all our pets have to be registered, and they have to have like little registration tags and stuff. So that goes to the council as well, including cats. Cats and dogs both have to be registered, at least in Logan Council. It's not the same for all councils. So yeah, I suppose it kind of is a bit like a HOA. I just hadn't considered it that way. If a few of your neighbours complain about that toilet full of the daisies, the council would come by and ask you to remove it. If it was a toilet full of daisies, they probably wouldn't. They'd probably go, get a life and shut your curtains. You know, but if it was full of like rubbish or standing water, they would do something about it. Yeah. Yeah. So it's probably a little bit different. We have rules that need to be followed, but they are more for aircraft safety than HOA style. At my property, you have to take your own trash to the transfer station and haul water in. No well yet. Okay, so you're kind of like off grid. So we have properties where, you know, like I'm in a Logan City Council within the council region, so we get rubbish delivery. Where my mum lives, she's out in the country further, and so they have to take their own rubbish to the transfer station. Their rates are less because they don't have to pay for that. They have town water, so they don't have to pay for that. But there are people, so they do have to pay for that. But there are people who don't have access to town water, so they've got to either have their own rainwater tanks or bring their own water in. So their rates notices will reflect that. They won't be charged for water and things. Let's see, like that kids pool that's green and hasn't been used for 10 years. Yeah, see, that would be, someone would call the council on that here because we have problems with mosquitoes. So standing water is an issue. They would call the council on that. Little Crafty Nook says we can't just plant any type of flower or shrubbery without the HOA's permission. We have to holiday decorations only up 10 days or less. No, we don't do any of that. As long as it's not considered a noxious weed or a pest, we can plant it. There's a list of noxious weeds and pests on the council websites. Other than that, we can plant it. And even then, if we planted it, they probably wouldn't do anything about it. People have their Christmas decorations up all year round. I don't believe anyone has said anything. We've had our Christmas decorations up well into January before. No one ever said anything. Not even our neighbours complaining about the flashy lights. Nothing. Our council has a great facility where you just snap a photo of any issues, anything broken, and send it to them, and they put it on the list to get it fixed. Yeah, so like roads and potholes and things like that. Our council is not that great. I don't believe we can just take a photo, but we can send in a notice and say, hey, something needs fixing. In saying that, our council is a couple of years ago all got kicked out of office for being corrupt, and we had to, you know, deal with that for a while. But yeah, it's different. It's different, and I was wondering if there was advantages, and it sounds like the advantages are like our city councils. So yeah. I have a friend that lives in a HOA community that won't let you change anything in the front, even the shrubbery, but you do agree to all this when you buy in. Yeah, and I think that's the thing. I think if there is like some sort of agreement like that, you'd have to disclose it. You wouldn't be able to sell someone a property and then them find out it's in a HOA, right? They'd have to know before they buy. Hmm. Yeah, I watch some of the like I watch a lot of lawn mowing content on YouTube. I don't know why, I just do. Don't ask me. I've no answers. Um, but one thing I remember hearing someone talking about was, you know, haven't you got like, because this person they had rubbish bins, like wheelie bins, but they were putting all their rubbish, like their rubbish wasn't going out, if that makes any sense. And it was just like, yeah, they couldn't afford the bin collection at that stage, and they were a bit broke, and they needed to pay an upfront deposit and then get it initiated. And I was like, that's not something that happens here. Like, the garbage men don't skip a house. All houses have rubbish collection. So yeah, and some houses, like if you pay a bit extra, you can have a second bin. Or, you know, like for a while there, when Fiberific was getting a lot of stock all the time, we paid for a second recycling bin so that I could have a second bin for putting all the cardboard boxes and stuff into. Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely different. I knew there had to be positives, right? They couldn't have something like this and then not actually be any positives. We have we paid for a large recycling bin. It was huge. We got a second one, so it was the same size as our others, but it was a second one. Live stream consultant says, noxious weeds. We have mesquite that has thorns 3 inches long everywhere. We try to dig that stuff out every chance we get. The root system on that stuff is nasty as well. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's on our noxious weeds list. Obviously, I don't put that much effort into my garden anymore. I used to have beautiful veggie patches and flower beds. And then I got chooks that I let free roam, and they destroyed everything. And then I never brought it back again. And we no longer have chickens. So yeah. But like, you know, you guys talking about different weeds. Like, we've got things where in Queensland it'll be considered a weed, but in Victoria it's in all the presentation gardens. It'll depend on the environment as to whether it's considered a weed. So you know, because different weathers, like something will grow beautifully and you're able to control it because it's a bit colder, but the second it gets into like rainforest land, it's just like, I will take over and become the trippet overlords to everybody. Oh yeah, pretty invasive and hard to kill. Yeah, I don't know what oxalis is. I'm gonna Google it. Oxalis. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Oxalis triangularis. It's very pretty, but I can see how it would run amok. We can actually get it in Australia, apparently. It's an inside plant here. Avoid, or maybe the triangularis, which is like purple leaves. Is that what I'm looking at? Oxalis, oxalis. Purple triangle leaves. And they say avoid excessive direct sunlight, as it can burn out their delicate leaves. I mean, we've got like how to grow it better kind of stuff going on here. So yeah. Oh, okay. So yes, your council serves the same function as a HOA. Seems like you will mostly agree with the standards and levels of enforcement. This is what happens in good HOA communities. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. I understand now, I think I understand. The only thing mesquite is good for is barbecues. It smells good while it's burning. That's something actually we're not allowed to do, is we're not allowed to burn stuff in our yards. So like we have to have barbecues. So if you've got like excessive tree branches or something, you can't just let them dry out and just have a fire. You have to have a barbecue. So we've got like a grill. We're just like, what are we going to throw on the barbecue and sacrifice it to get rid of all this excess green waste? We actually tend to usually just cut it up and put it in our green waste bin, but every now and again my daughter will be like, she wants a fire. And you'd just be like, okay. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because like when I was a kid, we had the incinerator drums. Every yard had an incinerator. But they are outlawed, at least in Queensland. We're not allowed to use them anymore. And if your property has one, the council's like, why is that here? That needs to go. That needs to go. And it's really funny because you can buy like, little fire pits that are adorable and gorgeous, but technically we're not allowed to use them. It's like kiddie paddling pools. Like you can buy a kiddie paddling pool from like, Big W or Kmart, so like our discount department stores, and like a Walmart, and except we're not allowed to use them unless they've got a fence around them, because we have pool fencing laws in Queensland that are really strict. Like that's a really strict one we've got. Yeah, so, we've got all these like if you have a pool, you have to have a certain level of fencing. And a pool is considered anything that holds water that's, like holds water that's more than like 10 centimeters deep or something. And you're supposed to put a fence around that. So I kind of get, it was a knee-jerk reaction. We lost a lot of kids due to poor fencing. So people not keeping, an eye on their kids and walking into random strangers' backyards and then them falling in pools. And I get it. I do get it. But, when you had a little kid and it's boiling hot and you just want to get them a little pool to sit in and cool down in, and you're just like, just sit in the bathtub. I don't have to worry about fencing a bathtub. It's got a door. Yeah, get the lake down the road. Absolutely. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So different states and different councils have different pool fencing laws. Our local council is pretty strict on the pool fencing. And there's helicopters and stuff that go over, and you'll get a notice like, hey, we noticed a pool in your yard that you don't have approval for. Like some pools you need council approval for, certain size pools. Other pools, they just need to have fencing. We have barbecue pits that are 8 foot in diameter, an open steel grill on the top. It's also 3 to 4 feet deep. Makes for great time clearing of brush and dinner. Yeah. My dad built us a barbecue pit in our backyard. It's 1 meter square and it's like dug into the ground, and it's all bricked in. So yeah, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. I don't actually use it because one of my asthma triggers is actually smoke. So whenever my daughter wants to do anything like that, I have to go out. So what a shame. I gotta go out for dinner or grab a coffee or something. But yeah. Anyway, guys, we could just keep talking. We could keep talking because we know we can. We've got so many off-topic things that we all love that we could totally keep talking. But I need to run away. I've got a really long to-do list for today now that I'm back from my holiday. Obviously, I did not plan it well enough, and I've got a little pile of stuff for today that I didn't want to do. And yeah, so I will catch you all back here next week. I will see you in Doug's streams, in Nick's streams, in Daryl's streams over the weekend. And if you're a crafty type, you're always more than welcome to come and join me on a Fiberific stream on my Thursdays, possibly your Wednesday. I will catch you all next week. You be awesome. And don't forget, taking breaks is actually a good thing. And I'll see you then. Bye.